What's going on, everybody? This is BroncoJuggalo, and I am coming at you today with the Michael Myers tag video on this Michael Myers Monday. So this tag was created by Sean over at the Horror Corner, and I wasn't actually tagged in this, but he contacted me on one of my videos comment sections and invited me to do it. So being that it is my favorite franchise, I definitely wanted to do this tag. I just didn't want to do it until somebody invited me to. That being said, I am incredibly honored to do this video, and I will be posting his link in the description box below. So, question number 1. What would you do if Michael Myers appeared in your house with butcher knife in hand? That's a really good question, and I thought about it for a while, and then I realized I'd just do this. I'd fill the entire clip into his body, then my secondary clip, grab my family, and run the fuck out of that house. Because, as we all know, that ain't gonna stop him. But it sure as hell will slow him down enough for us to get the fuck away. That's what I would do. Number 2, who is your favorite performer or actor who played Michael Myers? I am actually going to go with a 2-part answer on this. And a lot of people may say this cliche, but I am going to go with Nick Castle in Halloween 1. I think without Nick Castle and without his portrayal, we wouldn't have Halloween like we do now. So he gave the shape, he gave Michael Myers his presence, he gave us his attitude, and he gave us everything that we know about the character. As far as I'm concerned, everybody that came after was just trying to make the character better or do what he did. The other person I want to acknowledge is Deborah Hill Carpenter. A lot of people don't know this, but Deborah Hill Carpenter actually played Michael Myers in a few scenes. And the scene where Michael is killing his sister, those are Deborah's hands with the knife and all that you see through the mask. So I really want to give those 2 shout outs, especially Deborah Hill, because as far as I know, she's the only woman to ever be behind the mask, and that's pretty cool. Question number 3. What was your favorite Michael Myers kill in the Halloween franchise? This is not a tough one for me. I've named this kill before in other videos. In my ranking of the Halloween franchise, my very first YouTube video, I talked about this kill, and I'm actually going to revisit that ranking sooner or later, now that I've gotten a little better at this. So I definitely want to do that ranking again. That first video was absolutely terrible. I was very shaky cam, all that, because I didn't have any equipment and I was actually holding the camera up at arm's length the entire time I was speaking. So that was kind of a pain in the ass. So I'm going to go back and redo it. But I'm getting off the subject. The kill that I love the most is what a lot of other people have said. It is the hot tubs kill from the second film. That is my favorite kill. I'm not going to try and say anything different. But because so many other people have used that kill already, I wanted to give one other. And it is the kill in part 1. He pins him with the butcher knife to the door. And he's way off the ground. And that just shows the freaky strength Michael had. And no, it wasn't Tyler Mane's strength either, because Tyler... Well, first off, Tyler wasn't in the series yet. And Michael was not that big of a guy in the original. He wasn't a giant, super wrestling looking Michael Myers that could kill anybody and be Terminator at the same time. He was a normal sized guy, but you could tell the strength that the evil gave him when he lifted him up and posted him to the door. I absolutely love that part. Question number 4. Should they have made Jamie Lloyd the killer in part 5? Straight answer? No. Not at all. I don't want to, ever degrade anybody else's opinions or what they think would be cool, but I think that would have been an absolute disaster. Look at Halloween 3. Halloween 3, I know that it has a following now, and there are a lot of people that like it. I still hate that movie. It's a shitstorm. It should not be in the Halloween franchise. If they wanted to call it Season of the Witch and put it somewhere else, that's fine, but it should not be a Halloween movie. And it suffered hugely without Michael. Nobody should be the bad guy in Halloween except for Michael. Nobody should be the killer except for Michael. And I don't want to see Jamie Lloyd as the killer. I like Halloween 5. I know a lot of people don't. I do. I like Halloween 5, and I'm glad with what they did there. I like how they handled it, and I'm fine with it just the way it is. I also don't want to see her as anybody's sidekick either. I think that would have been absolutely terrible. I mean, this isn't Batman and Robin. This is Halloween. Question number 5. Do you think that they went too far with the Cult of Thorns storyline? I'm going to say no, and I hope you guys hear me out on this, but I think they could have went farther with it. I don't like Michael being controlled. I don't think you can control him. But I do like the idea of a cult that is trying to control Michael, and he rebels against, or not rebels against them, but he shows them, you can't control me, and he slaughters them all, even though they've broken him out and they are the ones trying to push him. You can't control Michael. I also don't think you can stop Michael by using a bunch of stones, no matter whether they have mystical powers or not. The rune stones in the part 6, the producer's cut, I didn't like. 6 is one of my favorite films, but I really truly do like the theatrical cut more than I like the producer's cut. So no, I don't think they went far enough with the Cult of Thorns storyline. I just don't think they did it well. Question number 6. What is the worst film in the franchise? Well, in my opinion, you have 4 to choose from. Because I really like 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, and H2O. A lot of people will say Resurrection, and I know why everybody hates that film. I hate that film. But it is not the worst in the franchise. I'm sorry, it's not. I also hate the Halloween 3, but I'm still going to go with it's not the worst in the franchise. Rob Zombie's Halloween remake is a terrible film. I can't stand it. I don't like what he did to the character. I think he completely disrespected the franchise. I like Rob Zombie's other movies, but I do not like his Halloween entries. But it's still not the worst film. The worst film in this franchise is Rob Zombie's H2. I don't know what the fuck he was thinking or what drugs he was taking when he did that film, when he wrote the screenplay for that film. I'm going to go out on a limb here and say he was probably stoned off his ass when he did it. Because that is a dumbass film. That film was so disrespectful to the Halloween franchise, to the Michael Myers character, to John Carpenter, to the horror fans, to the Michael Myers fans. That was a terrible thing to do. But I can't stand the Rob Zombie films. I didn't want them done in the first place. Halloween is the perfect horror movie. It needs no remake. Question number 7. If I was the one making Halloween 2018, would I have made it a sequel to the first, the second, or the 5th, or Rob Zombie's films? Well, I sure as hell wouldn't have made a sequel to Rob Zombie's films. Those can just rot in purgatory and hell for all I care. I really like part 5. I really like part 2, but I think I would have put the sequel after H2O. I've been thinking about making a video detailing this, but I might as well just go into it now real quick. Everybody talks about the continuity issues in this franchise. To me, if you really look at it, there are no real continuity issues. Okay, take out 3, don't worry about 3. Part 1 and 2. If you follow those up directly with part 4, 5, 6, and then Halloween H2O, all of those storylines can be put into a linear order where they make sense. There is no reason why Jamie Lee Curtis's character couldn't have had a little girl, faked her death, gave the little girl up because she knew Michael was still out there and she didn't want the little girl to suffer, but she also didn't want to die either, so she knew that she had to do something. She faked her death, she went off, changed her name and everything else, left her daughter where it was, ended up getting pregnant again, had a son. Every single one of those movies could have happened in a chronological order. Everybody talks about how, they don't make any sense. Yes, they do. If you really look at the math on them, it is very easy to put them all in order to where the entire storyline can work together. People say, they ignored all that in H2O. Did they really? I didn't think of them as ignoring it. I think that you can very easily make connections with all of the films. So that's my question, or that's my answer. I would definitely put it after H2O. But that's just me. They're going with it after part 1. I hope they don't change the brother-sister aspect, because that to me is so ingrained in the lore, it needs to stay. And the final question on this is actually a little bit of a challenge. It's reenact your favorite line from the Halloween franchise. Now, I wish I had a mask to do this, but I don't, so I'm just going to do it like this. And there you go, guys. That's my favorite line from the Halloween franchise. Bit of a cop-out, huh? Well, sorry. Okay, guys, I really will give you a line. And my favorite line is actually from the first movie. And everybody's already done all the Donald Pleasance speeches, and we all know how amazing those are, so I'm not going to go with one of their lines, and it might be weird because I'm not a girl, but I'm going to go with the line that Jamie Lee Curtis utters as Laurie Strode at the very end of Halloween 1, when she tells Dr. Loomis, "It really was the boogeyman." I'm no actor. So that's it, guys, for my answers to the Michael Myers tag. I'm actually going to tag in a couple people, and I will put their links in the description box below, and I'll also put some cards up for them. And one of them is Play It Now, and I believe he's going to be changing the name of his channel, but I think for right now it is still Play It Now. The other person I want to tag, even though I've tagged him a few times before, and I don't think he's gotten around doing any videos yet, but that's okay. I totally understand. He is very busy with his YouTube channel. He has a lot of videos and a lot of followers, and he's very busy, but I know this is his favorite franchise as well, so here's hoping he does it. I'm going to tag in Lee McCoy from Drumdums. Well, that's it, guys. That's all I got for you today, and just remember, evil never dies.